Okay, so this video is our attempt to make a first instructional video on how to make a mind map of all of the elements of art and principles of design so that you can literally see everything you've learned during your term of study of art and design. So this has the elements of art, emphasis and texture and scale, color, and this image is sort of a collection of all of the different lessons throughout the term. And we're going to use Autodesk Sketchbook to sort of combine those ideas. All right, so how does that work? Well, first we're going to go into Sketchbook. We're going to create a new sketch, and then we're going to use the camera to take some of our drawings. So I'm going to take space here, and I'm going to use that. I'm going to resize it. I'm going to put it over here to the side. Done. And I'm going to go back to the camera and I'm going to collect the next one. And for now it doesn't matter exactly where I put it. It does matter very much that these are separate layers here. And obviously we're not going to do them all in this one. We're just going to arrange a few of them so you can see how it works. And I'll stop with just these three examples. Okay, so now we're done. And what I'm going to do is now I'm going to use the eraser tool. So right now it's on the airbrush tool. And I'm going to go down to the eraser, and you can see that you can only edit on the layer you're on, and there are faster ways to erase, which I'll show you sort of as we go. But the great thing about Autodesk Sketchbook is that you can do a lot with just a few tools, and the more tools you learn, the better you get, but you don't really have to know how to use everything to do your work. So doing a few things with the simple tools that you know, and then little by little you add tools so you can do a better job. So I'm going to switch to the next layer, and I can change the size of the eraser and use the line tool and so on, and those would be examples of using better tools to get a specific job done. But again, getting the job done is the important part, not mastering the software. Software is just a tool to help you get things done. Okay, so now we're going to go to space. And I'm going to get rid of this layer temporarily to make sure I erase everything. And I'm just pushing the little I button, which turns it on visible or not visible. And it's worth just taking a moment to make sure you really clean up the mess, because it's easier to do now while you're thinking about it. Okay. Alright, so now I'm going to get off of this. Well, first I'm going to change the color to black, and I'm going to jump to the pencil tool. Oops. So the pencil tool, I think I want about a 2.5. We'll see if that's the right size in a moment. And I'm going to move this new layer above the top of these three, and we can move those around, these around spatially to organize them later. But right now what I'm doing is I've taken all of my basic ideas, and now I'm going to compile them onto one page. And for the purposes of the video, I'm not going to do a very good job. I'm simply going to demonstrate how the software works and how you compile. So first you go through and you take all your definitions, the verbal definitions, and you add up those verbal definitions into a list, and then you go one by one and draw them and show visual definitions. And then you compile them in Autodesk Sketchbook, and then you can go and make them pretty afterwards. And it is a long process, but what it allows you to do is end the term with one piece of paper, or digital paper, that has all of everything that you've learned, or at least as much of it as is reasonably possible, on one spot, so you can study but also remember it. And the weird thing about visual memory is that it tends to stick around a little bit longer if you make it yourself, which is why a lot of people like writing down notes even if they don't go back to them to check the notes, because it's odd. The process of creating things makes a different impact on our memory than just looking at things, which is why active studying is a lot more effective. There's the sun poking out from the clouds. Okay, so then what you do is you go through and you remove your background drawings. I'll do another video to show how to start developing these and moving them around. But that's the basics.